Welcome in. CBS News has learned that Luigi Mangione will be back in federal court tomorrow to discuss a possible plea deal. Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The New York Times is reporting that he will plead guilty. CBS News has not confirmed that reporting. Now, I want to bring in CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson with more on this. Jessica, any idea what the plea deal could look like?
So obviously at this point we're guessing, but generally when it comes to a plea deal, both sides get something. Obviously what the prosecution gets, even though they had a very strong case, is that they don't have to spend the time and resources going to trial. What the defense would get is some sort of concession typically. So we could be looking at a couple of things. One is that there are two stalking charges. You could see the prosecution say, we want to dismiss one of those. Another kind of bucket of options deals with sentencing. Maybe both parties try to either by a binding agreement or by a suggestion to the court say, we want some sort of reduced sentence, less than the life in federal prison that was the possibility here. So I think those are the two things we're looking at. And again, every plea deal essentially gives a little bit to each side.
So we know Luigi Mangione is facing the state and the federal charges. So how could a plea deal in the federal case impact the New York State case?
So New York State has a law that is much more generous than the federal protection against double jeopardy. And New York basically says the general rule is you cannot prosecute an individual twice for the same set of conduct, meaning in this case, one time in federal court and one time in state court for murder charges. But there are exceptions to that New York statute, and the exceptions deal with crimes that are substantially different, where the elements are substantially different and the harm that you're guarding against is substantially different. And so certainly prosecutors will say that the federal plea deal, which again we're expecting tomorrow, does not in any way mean that the New York murder charge has to be dismissed, because those exceptions hold when it comes to dual prosecutions.
Jessica Levinson. Jessica, thank you.